Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Up the Reds. The game's just finished against Man City in the Carabao Cup. Okay, so we're out of that competition. We are the holders. And to be fair, we probably didn't deserve to go through on that performance tonight. So I want to just talk about the positives from the game before I pick out the negatives from that game. Positives was that um, we showed a bit of character every time we went behind the first two goals, and we came back into it and uh, and really showed our strength. It was good to see that the players that had finished the game, the likes of Naby, Ox was on there, Fabinho was on there, and I know you're all going to start screaming and shouting that we need midfielders, etc. And even Hendo came on there, but yeah, we're not going to see the likes of the young lad starting in midfield, Bratovic or Batacic, and we're not going to see also Fabio starting on the left hand side. It was a tough first 15 minutes to watch. Okay, we got ourselves back into the game. That was good to watch. And obviously, second half started. We conceded a very poor goal, and then a minute and a bit after that, we got the equaliser. Now let's talk about the negatives, and we have to be really honest about that. I thought Joe Gomez was very poor tonight, and he should not have had an excuse to play a game like that because he was he played the games in the Dubai competition, whatever it was called, and he should have been really up to speed. But I thought the first goal, he just stood there waiting for the ball to come. Look, I'm a coach. I've been a coach. I've always said to my centre halves, the, in the penalty box, you go and attack the ball. You do not wait for the ball to come to you because you do not know what striker is going to do around you. And obviously, Haaland studied the ball in. And Gomez put his arms out looking at his keeper, but it wasn't his keeper, it was him. He was at fault as well, for that. So that was a poor start. We were giving them passes away in the first 5-10 minutes. Matip, Robbo, Carvalho. We got into forward positions, and then the balls weren't going to feet, etc. So the other thing was that Nunes on another day could have had three, possibly four. He had chances to score at least one. I know he made a chance for Mo, but he did have chances to score one today. Am I bothered being knocked out of this competition? Well, look at our season. Just look at it, the way it's going at the moment. It is what it is. We've had this pathetic World Cup. We've come back, and we are where we are. This is a transition season. Lots of talk was mentioned about transfers in the in this World Cup that had just been played. Who's coming to us and who's coming. People are saying to me, "Look, Andy, we know you don't give your comment about people unless they've signed. Can you please give us your opinions about what's going on in social media?" The journos mentioning. Right, here's my version of that. I will be very, very surprised if we sign anybody in January. The reason I'm saying that is You got to look at the players that are coming back, the likes of Naby, Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'm just looking at players of that ilk who have taken us on some journeys in the past. I'm not saying that they're the answer. They're probably not the answer. But I'll be very surprised that with what's going on at the club about FSG wanting to sell, don't want to sell. I've mentioned it on previous one of these about FSG. It's we're getting mixed messages now. What do I think of that? It's not very good at all. I've said this in my previous videos. We Liverpool fans, Liverpool supporters, deserve to know what's going on with FSG. You're either selling or you're not. If you're not selling, let us know what the plan of action is, because you are going to wind up us supporters. Not me personally, because we've been here before, but some fans are going to lose their heads about what's going on. But yeah, silly money's been mentioned about who we're going to sign. Okay, Jude Bellingham, I don't think it's going to happen. People are thinking it's going to happen because what's been going on at the with the England camp, with the Alexander-Arnold and Henderson with Bellingham. But just on the Trent thing, unless he was injured or picked up a niggle or something, I would have played him today. I wouldn't have played James Milner. There's no need for him to have played that game. James Milner has now gone off. He's got an injury. He lasted about 30 odd minutes. Not very good for him in that high intensity game. So yeah, the other fella from Benfica, a World Cup winner, I'm not convinced. I don't think we're going to sign everybody. If we do sign anybody, it's going to be media. It's going to come out of the blue that we need an extra. Now, people are saying, do we need midfielders? Yes, we do need midfielders. Are we going to get a midfielder in January? My personal opinion, I'll be very surprised if that happens, because we just don't know what's going on with the finances at the club regarding buying a player. This Arthur Melo lad is still hanging around. We've got him till the end of the season. Apparently he's coming back by the end of January, and if I'm honest, it's a waste of space, him being at Anfield. I've got to be honest about that. The lad wasn't fit when he came to us. Then he gets an injury that's really bad, because we're trying to get him up to speed. It's just not going to work. So we have to stick with what we've got. I just want to talk about the young lads that have played as well. If I'm going to be honest, I don't think Harvey Elliott is giving us what we want at the moment. He's just one of those players that I thought would be a impact player at his age. Let's forget about his age, 19 or whatever he is, 20. He's just not doing it for us. We got caught out so many times in midfield in the first half. It was really bad to see. There was no foothold at all in there. So yeah, that's my bit about Harvey Elliott. I might be totally wrong about him, but the more I see him, I'm thinking, is he good for us in the long term? Because I'm not seeing too much being offered from him. I know he's a young lad, and I've always said about young lads, this is constructive criticism, by the way. Will he do anything? Will he take us to the next level that we need to be? I'm not 100% sure. Curtis Jones is in that bracket as well, unless he comes back and does what we expect him to do. I'm not too sure either. Just on the academy side, there are some good players in there. They're young, they're raw, they're for instance, a young lad called Ben Doak, 17-year-old. He's a very good player. I would have given him 10 minutes tonight in that game. There's nothing to lose on 80 minutes. We were 3-2 down, and yeah, so yeah. So just getting back onto the game, yeah, I'm not too fussed about us being out of this competition. We've got Aston Villa on Monday. We're on Prime there. Then we're at home to Leicester. I'm hoping to get a ticket for the Leicester game. Fingers crossed. So if I get a ticket, I'll go and watch that game. Any other news really? Just about FSG. We've no idea what's going on there with the sale of the club or extra finance coming in. You hear lots of rumours on social media, and to be honest, not even the journalists know. I mean, the journalists are going on the Anfield Redmen TV and saying what they think is going to happen. Me personally, you can go on there and think what you think is going to happen. For me, I'm not so sure what's really going to happen, and that's the concerning point for me. The under-18s, they got through to the next round of the FA Youth Cup. They had a narrow 2-1 win against Bournemouth, and there was a young Egyptian called Mohamed Ahmed who made his debut for Liverpool and scored. So I don't know where he's come from. Kept that one quiet. So when I know a bit more about him and I watch the youngsters play, I'll give you some feedback on him. I think the women's football now has got a break. Under 23s, they'll be playing shortly as well. So next game, Villa away. That'll be a tough game, but I will expect majority of the first teamers to start. If I was to name a team, Alisson in goals, Robbo left back, Virgil van Dijk and Konate centre halves. Not taking anything away from how Matip played. I think I'd like to see Konate and Virgil. Trent playing right back. Midfield, I'd like to see Hendo, Thiago, Fabinho or Naby in there, if I'm honest. And up front, I'd like to see Nunes, Bobby and Mo up front, and the rest of them can be on the bench for me. Okay, so yeah, that will be my team I'd pick against Aston Villa. But then again, you don't know. There could be injuries between now and Monday when we play them. So that's all it is for today. If you like what I've said, please give me a comment. Please follow. It's totally up to you guys. I get a lot of messages, DM messages on my Twitter account, but put your messages on here. Okay, it was what it was. Let's not get too concerned that we're out of this competition. To be fair, we weren't at the races. We had a couple of chances and we scored. We had, well, I say a couple of chances. We had more than a couple of chances, but we only took 2 of them. As I said earlier on, Nunes could have had a hat trick, maybe 4. But yeah, let's get back to the bread and butter of the Premier League. Okay, have a boss evening. Have a boss Christmas Eve. Have a boss Christmas Day. Have a boss Boxing Day, and I'll speak to you on Monday after the Aston Villa game. Okay, up the Reds.